Three of the top cops at the Atlanta VA Medical Center are suspended from police duty with pay amid allegations of unacceptable behavior.
The VA cited multiple complaints, including one involving graphic details of an alleged sexual assault by the deputy police chief. Yet Fox 5 I-Team reporter Randy Travis says for years that deputy chief stayed on the job until now. Randy?
That's right, Courtney and Russ. The police department, the VA, provides law enforcement and security services at the main hospital in Decatur and several other VA clinics in Metro Atlanta. They also use a private security company to carry some of the load. Shanika Jackson once worked for both. How soon after you got the job did you start having some issues with the deputy chief?
I noticed he was overly friendly with me. He would be standing behind me a lot, and I'm like, why is he always in here? Doesn't he have anything else to do?
A single mom and retired Air Force military police officer, Shanika Jackson applied to join the Atlanta VA Police Department in 2021. But after working months in dispatch, waiting for a slot to open for mandatory police academy training, she said she had to resign because the pandemic kept delaying the start of the class. According to the EEOC complaint she would eventually file, Jackson said Deputy Police Chief Johnny McCullough offered to help her get a job with the private security company at the Atlanta VA. An offer she says in her complaint she was unaware came with some sexual strings attached.
I just remember one day he asked me to come into his office. He just told me, like, I told you it would cost you.
According to that complaint, the deputy chief exposed himself and encouraged Jackson to take part in a sexual act.
I'm like, whoa, 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 like this is not something I'm gonna do. But I got out of his office so quick. I remember seeing him adjust his pants back, and I got out of there and I started crying hysterically.
Two friends confirmed to EEOC investigators that Jackson confided in them shortly after the incident. But Jackson said she did not file an official complaint immediately.
But I was fearful at the time because he had a lot of power.
But then came a misdirected text in January 2022. Thinking she was texting a friend, Jackson says she accidentally sent this to McCullough. Snakes only get so far. In her complaint, she says McCullough went to her boss and asked that she be fired.
I told him, like, hey, this man has been harassing me for the longest, and y'all are trying to fire me for him.
She was ultimately demoted and transferred. When she failed to show up for work, the private security company fired her. They denied McCullough played any role in the decision. Only after she was fired in April 2022 did Jackson file her complaint with the EEOC. And when McCullough met with EEOC investigators, he denied every one of Jackson's claims. So she said it happened. He said it did not. Jackson's EEOC complaint was dismissed before either had a chance to prove they were telling the truth. She's filed an appeal. But there's a third angle to this she said, he said story. It's what the VA Internal Affairs investigation said. In July 2022, the VA's Office of Senior Security Officer conducted its own investigation into Jackson's claims. The Fox 5 I-Team obtained this copy through the Freedom of Information Act. After interviewing multiple witnesses, it was repeated throughout interviews that McCullough had a romantic interest in Jackson. The report said McCullough admitted to special agents that he gave Jackson money, texted her outside of working hours because he wanted to help Jackson as a single parent, a statement investigators find not credible. And as far as Jackson's allegation of McCullough exposing himself, staff described him as vindictive, condescending, toxic, and as having a reputation as a womanizer. Investigators did draw certain conclusions that would support Jackson's reports as being accurate and truthful. So you must have been pretty pleased to see this report.
Absolutely.
Did you expect that this would result in him being removed from his job?
I did.
He was not. We shot this video a few months ago of McCullough at a firearms training course with Police Chief Beverly Banks. The VA suspended Chief Banks, Deputy Chief McCullough, and a third person due to employee complaints and allegations of unacceptable behavior, including allegations of sexual assault and harassment. We are treating these allegations with the utmost seriousness and are moving aggressively to investigate them, and will take swift and appropriate action. Reached by phone, McCullough said he had no comment. Chief Banks did not respond to our questions. The VA has already appointed an acting chief and an acting deputy chief, and they say that they're sending a national team, including the senior security officer, to make recommendations for the three who are currently suspended with pay.
Wow, yeah, there's a really disturbing allegations, and she was fired back in 2022. But the VA is saying that they're taking this seriously. Did they explain why they didn't take action 2 years ago?
That was our first question a couple of weeks ago, Courtney, is, was Deputy Chief McCullough disciplined at all 2 years ago after that internal affairs report came out that raised questions about his credibility? We never got an answer to that question. Instead, we got a statement saying that he was suspended now and that they've launched an investigation. Another one.
Okay. Well, and as you say, she's appealing that EEOC complaint that was rejected.
Yeah, I'm not sure where that stands right now. She appealed it last fall.
All right. Very good. Randy, thanks.
Thanks, Randy.